Ladies and gentlemen, this video is educational. It's an educational video only. It's not to sensationalize. I have to admit that some of this may be verbal graphic content for you. Very sad, very unfortunate. But why are we not talking about these instances as much as these other things that we talk about in the mainstream media? About, oh, this cop did this and black people doing it, black people. What about this? BLM, my challenge to Black Lives Matter and all these organizations that you claim you care about black people. What about these people? What about these scenarios that make local news in one part of one city, that never make national news, never get legitimate coverage? Nobody in a State of the Union address, nobody's talking about this. Nobody's trying to do black children reform. They're not signing bills to help young people in the inner cities of Chicago escape what I'm about to show you. They don't. Where you at? Where you at least on the rhetoric? How about we say, y'all talk about we want to have a conversation about reparation. Let's have a conversation about this. Now, before I keep running my mouth, I'm gonna play the video. It's a 2-minute video. I want you guys to watch it, and you're gonna see why I'm so passionate about the things that I say and why I believe that BLM and all of these organizations are complete hypocrites. Roll the film.
New developments today as police investigate a shooting that killed a 12-year-old girl in Hazel Crest.
We do know that the medical examiner's office identified the 12-year-old as Erica Gibson. She died from a gunshot wound to the head.
One of the victims is a 14-year-old boy. Police say he was found at Springfield and Madison near an Aldi store parking lot. The boy had been shot in the abdomen.
7-year-old girl is dead tonight after being shot 6 times at a McDonald's drive-thru in Lawndale.
She was in the car with her father, who was also shot.
Who was also a thug. He was peeing on the grave of another man, and they retaliated, specifically targeting his daughter. I don't know why they won't say it. They specifically targeted his daughter. All the shots was in the back rear passenger seat where she was at, and who saved her? Wasn't a black man. It was the police officers. Anyway, keep going.
18-year-old boy was shot and killed in Little Village this morning. The teen was walking along South Drake with a female companion when gunshots rang out. They both dropped to the ground, but he was struck in the head.
He's looking for the gunman who shot and killed a 9-year-old boy who was playing with his friends on the near north side.
Let's begin with some breaking news this evening. Gunfire claims the life of another child on Chicago streets. An 8-year-old girl has died and 3 adults were wounded when someone opened fire on their car.
A grieving family in Chicago is pleading for justice for their 12-year-old son.
The boy was shot and killed in Gary, Indiana over the weekend.
Joe, this happened around 9:30 on Saturday night. Demetrius Townsell Jr., just 12 years old, as you said, was riding in the car with his family members when someone stepped out of the shadows and opened fire.
I'm not done yet. We still got about 30 more seconds of this. Do you get my point at this point? Because we're gonna finish this. My staff didn't make this video for nothing. We're going to finish it. However, I'm hoping that you get the point what I'm saying. And I'm hoping that people feel challenged by listening to these horrific news coverage, the horrific news coverage of young people losing their lives while riding in a car. Let me tell you something. When you say black people have to worry about leaving their house, black people have to worry about driving while black in a black neighborhood, that's where you have to worry about being black. You don't hear cops ain't shooting a kid in the street while they're just riding down the street with their parents. It's other black people that are doing that. They're not just, you don't hear a kid on a skateboard and police officers just drive by and shoot. No, it's black people can't go out in the community in their own neighborhoods. Driving while black exists in the black neighborhood where they're getting smoked because of all this gang violence that nobody's talking about. You keep talking about police. I've just rattled off just a few of these in 1 minute and 41 seconds. More kids than adults by police. Come on, keep rolling.
21-month-old Caden Swan was
21
riding
months.
in a car on Lakeshore Drive when somebody in another vehicle opened fire, striking him in the head.
The shooting happened at about 6:30 Saturday evening. The 3-year-old was riding in a black SUV with his dad near North Central Avenue and West Huron Street. Police say the gunman was behind them in the Honda and fired multiple shots.
New development.
So this video don't have to be long. Can somebody answer this for me? Why do their lives not matter? Why is these breaking news, local news coverage of these young people at astronomical numbers? And if you notice, it's black kids. And if you notice, the suspect are black people. And why are we lying to ourselves and to the world about the biggest issue facing the community? It ain't white supremacy. Not one white supremacist was on any of these news coverage clips, because that would have made national news. Because if a black man do it, nobody cares. Not one of those had anything to do with white people. It wasn't in the white neighborhood. No Ku Klux Klan, no none of that. It was black on black violence. If you look at the numbers, around 7,000 people a year, black people, mostly men, are killed in black on black violence. 90+% of those homicides that occur in the black community are perpetuated by other black people. 98% or so. 7,000 a year. Let's just do some simple math, and I'm done with the subject matter. Just do some simple math. Police officers shoot, I don't know, you say like 13 people a year unarmed. And that's just assuming they all were innocent, which we know that 99.9% of them are guilty and use of force is justified. However, for the sake of this argument, let's say every single instance of unarmed people getting shot by the police is unjustified. Let's just say the average is 17. In 10 years, all you got to do, if you don't know math, just add a 0 to it. In 10 years, 170 black people were shot unarmed in 10 years. Now let's go to the 7,000 number. In 10 years, with the 7,000 number being accurate, just add a 0 to it, 70,000 black people are killed by other black people. So let's put this in perspective. All of the news coverage wall to wall, all of these memorials, all of the BLM and a critical race theory, all this stuff is set because of the 170. Just hypothetically speaking, if 17 a year, 10 years, and they all unjustified, which is nowhere near the truth, but just for the sake of argument. They're worried about the 170, but the 70,000 is not even a concern at all. It's not enough to even have a T-shirt, a banner, nothing. It's not enough to even mention. It's not enough to post on BLM's Instagram channel. It's not enough. They won't talk about it. They won't hashtag about it. They won't make a video about it. They won't make a documentary about it. They act like it don't exist. The 70,000 versus the 170. You tell me which one is the biggest issue in the community. Okay. I could talk about this for 50 more hours, but you need to watch the rest of my videos. Comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what I said. Am I on point or am I tripping? And the people that say that I'm tripping, they're out here supporting organizations to help with inner city violence, or at least they say they are. At least they're creating these organizations. We are, but I'm an Uncle Tom for saying it, and you claim that you this is exactly. I should be the spokesperson for your organization. Yet I'm Uncle Tom when I say it, but when somebody else say it, they cool. It's just because you don't like the fact that I'm calling it out and calling it like it is.